Everyone, my name is Michelle Barnes with the ANO Realty Group. I am here to kind of debunk a lot of the myths and the chatter that is being had in regards to real estate. Hopefully, I am going to share with you today why now could be the golden opportunity for you to actually purchase your dream home. Yes, in this current market. Um, so I get this question asked to me all the time, when is the best time to purchase a home? And I always share with people, with potential clients or people that that I'm speaking to, is that the best time to actually purchase a home is when your credit is in line, or because you can do cash, when you have the money, when you have the financial wherewithal to actually purchase a home. Point blank. If you think about it, when we were kids, I'm not going to tell you my age, that will be my secret. But when I was a kid, and when you were probably a kid, and some of you that are not millennials, but our parents were actually paying interest rate. The interest rates are actually in the double digits, right? So now we actually have the benefits of having interest rates lower than what our parents and our grandparents probably paid when they were purchasing their first home. Okay, so that is, most people don't know that, but that is the case. But in this ever-shifting landscape of real estate, there's a whisper making its way through the market. And that whisper is, now might be one of the best times to purchase a home. Yes, in this current market. So while it may seem to most counterintuitive, especially with the 20-year high mortgage rates and a steady incline in the prices, so it seems, let's actually unpack why jumping in this housing market could be probably one of the most surprisingly smart moves today. Okay, so I'm going to go over a few things, about 5 or 6 highlights of why now would be the best time. So the first thing is this: the silver lining of high mortgage rates. So what makes it the best time to jump in the buying market when there are high interest rates? So the current high mortgage rates have actually significantly thinned out the crowd of buyers. So yes, there is a reduction in the competition. It's like a hidden gem for those that actually are willing to jump into the market. Just dive into it, because this is the actual best time for you when there's less competition. If you think back in the last 2 years when the interest rates was low, due to the pandemic, to keep the economy thriving, the government made a decision to actually reduce the interest rates to about 2.5%. Everybody just went bananas, right? I had, typically in the higher price points, you don't have a lot of people having to pay above asking price. Then, of course, normally in the $200, $300, $400, even $500,000 range, yes, I was expecting that. But now when you get to the $800-900 million range, did I expect that to happen even with 2.5 interest rates? So yes, I had actually clients in the $8 to $1 million range that were actually paying $150,000 over asking price to get a home. Yes, I was floored, right? So that's what was happening, because now with the interest rates being lower, you have more people that can now jump into the real estate game, right? Those that didn't make it now could make it, right? Based on the debt to income ratio. And those that were already in the game, now that increased their buying power significantly. So everybody was vying for the same property, which in turn caused the price to increase. If you think about the law of supply and demand. The the law of supply and demand. When the demand is high, well, I'm sorry, let me back up. When the supply is low and the demand is high, that means that's going to drive the prices up, right? So that's what happened during the pandemic. We had a low amount of supply of homes. We didn't have a lot of homes available for people to purchase. Why? Because everybody was fighting over the same one. The demand was high, so that's why the supply was low. And then also, once the demand is high, then that's going to increase the price. So that's what happened. So that is what, how the frenzy was happening and everybody was just running around crazy, snatching up homes without even seeing them, not doing inspections, buying it as is, and just paying well over what the price was actually, the house at the time was actually valued at, just to get in. Okay, well, those days are actually behind us. Yes, they're behind us. Now the market is calmer, allowing you to actually browse, think, and negotiate as a buyer. So that is a luxury that was scarce during the pandemic. But now we're back at that space. So that is actually a benefit for buyers. All right. So the second thing that I wanted to share is that buyers now have an edge in today's market. With fewer buyers, like I said before, on the prowl, those who are actually house hunting are finding themselves wielding more power. Now they actually have the power to negotiate, to name their price, and to actually get in the price, get into a home with less money out of pocket. It's the classic economics of supply and demand, which I just explained to you. So sellers are noticing the dip in competition, and they are more inclined to actually negotiate, making it a great time to secure a deal that might have been unthinkable just a year ago. So, with that being said, I actually I'm going to give you two examples in recent weeks, right? So I had a buyer that was buying a pre-existing home. I was able to negotiate them about $12,000 in closing costs. No, $12,000 to $15,000 in closing costs. And so I actually was able to get them almost $20,000 in closing costs once everything was said and done. And all they had to do was come to the closing table with $2,500. Actually, it was less than $2,500. That is the amount of what 1 month's rent is. That's what they had to come to the closing table with. Then I had a builder who was giving incentives, and this is multiple builders are doing, they're giving incentives away. But they gave about $15,000 in closing costs, a washer, dryer, refrigerator, blinds, and my client was able to pick something, an additional incentives to actually cover additional costs to buy down the rate. So they were giving all that away. This is the time everybody, I won't say everybody, but most sellers and most builders are offering incentives that will literally bring less money, where the buyer will have to bring less money to the closing table. So it's a savings that you must capitalize on. All right, so the next thing that I wanted to share with you is that you can actually immediately start building wealth. So with all these savings, right, most times you're going to walk into the property with a lot of equity or a considerable amount of equity. So right now you're already building wealth, right? So buying a home is just not about the here and now. It's a long-term investment, a real estate investment that will yield you, if you think about the long term, more profitability than in the short term, right? So real estate is still considered one of the safest and most effective ways to build wealth. A lot of generational wealth, a lot of millionaires and people that we know and love actually use real estate to build their wealth. So by entering into the market now, not just securing a roof over your head, but you're actually laying the foundation for your financial future. So again, now is the time. Okay? Another tip or another thing to think about is opportunities abound for the prepared buyer. So all you buyers that have been saving, that's been putting your ducks in a row, that have been getting your credit put together, this is pretty much, how should I say this? This is literally your time. Your time is absolutely now. You have nothing holding you back. You have already prepared yourself. If you're thinking or scared about some interest rates, I'm going to tell you how to get beyond that. Okay? So for those of you who've been saving diligently, the current market is ripe for this opportunity for you. If you've got significant amount of down payment, excellent credit, or the ability to make a cash offer, or just to make the offer sweeter, you are in an inevitable position to negotiate favorable terms on your mortgage or on your particular transaction. So this is, I don't know how best to say this. Apparently I'm lost for words right now. But when I tell you, if you're still on the sidelines, I would definitely implore you to reconsider your position and get into the game. Get off the sidelines, get into the game, and let's make this a win-win situation for you. If it's fear of the interest rates, let's talk about it. The interest rates at some point is going to come down. That is actually a good segue into my next point. Because you're not locked into the high interest rates forever, right? So today's high interest rates shouldn't be a deterrent. Economic trends suggest that these rates they will not last forever. We've already been told that they're already considering reducing the interest rates up to 6 times next year. 6 times. As long as you wait 8 months or more before you refinance, so that there won't be any adverse impact to you, then you can refinance after 6 months. That money that you're saving from having to put so much out up front during the transaction, you can put a couple of extra dollars to paying towards that higher interest rate, right? Because in most cases we can negotiate money for repairs. All that stuff is going to help you keep money in your pocket. Then you can pay slightly more than what you were willing to pay just for the monthly rates, for the monthly payment, until the interest rates come back down. When the interest rates come back down, it has to make sense. So make sure you contact your lender, and then we'll help you with identifying the best time to refinance, where it's going to benefit you the most. Okay? So securing a home now can mean the opportunity to refinance at a lower rate in the future, potentially save you a significant amount of money on your mortgage in the long run. So that is the plan. Okay? The sixth item or focal point or topic that I want to talk about is the bottom line, right? The current real estate market seems so daunting at first glance. I understand. I think we got a little bit, what's the word I want to say? We got a little bit accustomed to the interest rates that we received during the pandemic, right? We got a little spoiled. That's what I was trying to look for. We got a little spoiled, right? But for those that are actually willing to look a little bit closer and to evaluate the long-term offerings that jumping into this market at today's rates, then you're going to find the most opportunities, more unique opportunities than anybody that had actually purchased during the frenzy, the pandemic frenzy. I actually have a client right now who I explained all of this to him up front, so he understood that he overpaid for his property. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. He overpaid for his property during the pandemic. He overpaid for it, but circumstances happened, and he actually ended up having to sell the house or put the house on the market not even 11 months after he purchased it, which put him in an upside down situation, negative equity position, right? Because he overpaid for it. Prices had actually started to correct itself, due to, the adjustment in the interest rate and people actually now paying closer to true market value. That actually brought the price of his home down. So now he's upside down. There's no room, there's no equity there at all. So we actually had to take the house off the market. And he was aware of it, but I had to share with them the pitfalls that paying over the sales price, over the market rate for a property, what that yield you. Everybody wants to get that low interest rates, but they never realized what it would do after the market started to correct itself. Now, again, that opportunity may come again where the interest rates go down. You're just going to have to hold that property just a little bit longer in order for you to get the full value of that home, as far as the equity that's in it. Okay. So again, with the less competition, there's more room for negotiation and the potential for future savings. Okay. So could now be the best time for you to buy a home? Could it be? I would say yes. I would say yes. With all that we just talked about, what is the purpose of waiting? This is your opportunity to capitalize on where we are in the market, where you can negotiate more, keep more money in your pocket, still use the savings that you have. You may have to still, have reserves on deck, from a mortgage perspective. Your underwriter may require you to have some money on hand to cover any just in case, life happens. They do sometimes require you to have reserves. So if you have it and you still have the opportunity to save, to get the house at a lower price, to pay slightly more in monthly payments, but that savings you can put towards that, and then also do what it needs to take to get the house where you want it to be, because there's no perfect house. Even with new builds, there's no perfect house. Most people still go in doing something. So take these tips. Let me know. I posted something in my YouTube channel about Ephesians 2:10. It's a Bible scripture, so let me just say that. And all it's saying is that we are equipped to do whatever we need to do, whatever God has planned for us to do. We are already equipped for it. So I'm equipping you guys with all the information, all the knowledge, so that you can make the best informed decision for you and your family. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let the chatters that you hear out in the marketplace of people that don't truly understand the market. Now, definitely get your financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. I'm telling you what I see every day. So don't let fear keep you on the sidelines. Don't let people just deter you or distract you. Get out here and understand what it's going to take for you to get into the dream home that you've been dreaming for, praying for, and wishing and hoping for. I'm here. My team is here to support you, to provide the resources for you, to provide the knowledge that you have or that you need, and to put you in the best position to purchase your dream home. So that is all I have for you today. If there's anything you need from me, I'm a call away. Please like, share, and subscribe, please. And I'll catch you on the next video. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon.